G'day, it's Dan from KPD4x4. Today we're at Quadrant Suspensions in Melbourne. We've chosen these guys to be our Bilstein shock supply for our four-wheel drive customers. Quadrant have worked with Germany to develop a range of specific applications for our Australian vehicles. Let's go and check them out.
Just to give you an idea on oil, this Bilstein oil is good for minus 40 degrees, but also up to, I think, around 200 odd degrees. So it can withstand some extreme conditions. Old oil that's out of a shock, some of the oil like that is coming out of a shock. That's a shock that's probably done well over 100,000 odd kilometres. And even though it's in that condition, it's actually still working quite well. But when we pull shocks down and service them, we actually replace it with new oil, although you wouldn't be actually able to tell driving the vehicle that it's got new oil. But the internal parts of a Bilstein shock are high quality components, and they don't actually wear out, so you don't have aluminium and things actually wearing down and so forth and destroying itself and destroying the oil. And then the fact that it's pressurised stops the oil from actually degrading too as well. So shock absorbers that have done within their normal service life, you can pull the oil out and actually in quite good condition. So you could actually use the old oil continuously if you wanted to, but we always replace it with new fresh oil anyway. But it's designed to work in extreme conditions. A lot of development went into the quality of the oil. It'd be nothing worse in Europe having a shock absorber frozen, and then it wouldn't be doing much. And it's the same thing, hot conditions outback Australia and so forth, when 40 degree plus heat, punishing on corrugations, this oil can withstand incredible torture without breaking down or degrading in any fashion.
Cool, Richard. So when we supply a shock absorber to a customer, say they've got a Prado, what sort of service life can you expect out of a shock before you potentially have to rebuild it?
I generally say well over 100,000 plus kilometres. Some people say that a standard hydraulic shock will last that long, but I tend to think that a normal, say, the shock absorber that Toyota supply would last around about 50,000 kilometres, and then if you drive it in the outback, you probably get probably half that amount. We tend to say, as a general rule, Bilstein shock absorber lasts 4 to 5 times as long as a standard shock absorber without touching it. And then they can be rebuilt and serviced. As you saw before, Jim pull apart the shim stacks and the main seal package and so forth. The chroming on a shaft on a Bilstein is absolutely incredible. It's designed to last. Bilstein started out as a chroming company in Germany in the early days anyway. But the shaft is designed just not to wear out. The chroming is incredibly hard. You try and cut that shaft with anything and you'll struggle to do any damage to it with anything. So as long as the shaft's in good nick, the main seal pack will be looked after. And if it 200, I've quite often seen shock absorbers do 200,000 to 300,000 kilometres trouble-free. Maybe at that stage they might need a new seal pack. If the shaft's in good nick, a new seal pack, change your oil, and off they go again. And a Bilstein shock, a normal standard shock absorber, the valving will tend to fade. The way the valving works, the little springs and so forth like that tend to fade over a period of time. So if you were to put it on a graph, that you would see that the dampening drop off over a period of time. If you took a brand new cheap hydraulic shock absorber, put it on the dyno, took the reading, drove the car for a couple of months, took a reading again, you'd see it drop off even more. And if you did that progressively over the life of the shock, you'd just see it continually dropping off. Where the monotube Bilstein shocks run a shim stack type arrangement, as you saw before, and that won't fade over the life of the vehicle. So you'll have pretty much 99% of your damping force over the life of that vehicle to the very day it dies. And the only thing that can really happen to them is the main seal pack. Then the oil can leak out of them, which is only after hundreds of thousands of kilometres, and usually extreme abuse as well thrown into it, because people tend to just drive them. That once you've driven on Bilsteins, you tend to think you can plough over any surface at 100 miles an hour and you can't feel it, so they'll just keep doing it. So and then the seal pack can be replaced, and you've got basically a brand new shock absorber again. It's not very often that you see them actually go into a bin or replaced. They're quite often, we have customers come in and say, I've had these things for 10 years. They've been fantastic. Can you rebuild them? And we rebuild them for them. Like back in the car, off they go again. So it's
beautiful.
Not unusual to see shock absorbers that are 10, 15, 20 years old. We see 20-year-old shock absorbers coming in here that are rebuilt and go back out on the road again. So, you know.
Yeah, thanks for that, Richard.
That's all right.
Awesome, mate. Cheers.
Good.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's why we use Quadrant to supply our Bilstein shocks. These guys really know their stuff, and it's obvious that you're getting a custom-made, specific shock for your vehicle when you're supplied with Bilstein through KPD4x4. So if you'd like any more info, please call 1300 780 141, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you about your application.